Today I'm back at you with another Wuthering Waves tips and tricks video for a complete free-to-play account that I promise a lot of you are not aware of and a lot of you are not taking advantage of in Wuthering Waves currently. This is one of the most underrated features in the game currently, and I'm going to show you how to literally double your damage. Yes, you heard me right. Double your damage in Wuthering Waves. The vast majority of people I've been watching on streams and in YouTube videos are not doing this, and you need to be doing this now. If you're already doing this, I'm also going to teach you some tips and tricks to even more efficiently do this. Not a lot of people know what's going on, but let's get into it. So, long story short, we're going to be talking about cooking today. Let him cook. Nobody is doing cooking, and you are missing out on not only DPS and buffs to your character, you are missing out on Astrite. You're missing out on leveling materials. You are missing out on so much this game that has to offer by ignoring your cooking. So let's get into it. What is cooking? You go to a cookpot. There's one in the major city, and there's a ton all throughout Sol 3. You walk up to it, you hit F, and you can cook various dishes based on things you found out in the world, and herbs, plants, and whatever that you buy from various merchants throughout Sol 3. So what is everyone missing? What's the big secret here? Some of the best buffs in the game are locked behind cooking. The Jinzhou Maokai buffs all party members' crit rate by 28% for 30 minutes. Now, hear me out on this because you didn't know about this, and I only just learned about this just the other day. When you are cooking a dish, you can change the cooker of the dish, and it seems each dish has one specific cooker that has a chance to give you, based on your chef level, a different item which does even better. So for example, for Chixia, if you have Chixia making this item and she rolls and makes the better item, this should give you 30% crit, 2% more crit. Let Chixia cook for this specific dish. Each dish has a different cook, so when you are cooking, make sure you are going and looking up here at the top right. When you see this little white glowing icon, this little circle, that's when you know someone can specialize in cooking the dish. So for example, for the Jinzhou stew, Jian is specifically good at making this stew. So you want to make sure you have that selected as your assistant, and just to show you what exactly will happen and when you do hit it. So for example, we're going to cook the dish, we're going to cook the stew with Jian as our assistant, and we're going to hope we hit it, and there we go. So we made the normal Jinzhou stew, right? 8% increased attack and 6% crit rate lasting for 30 minutes. But because we had Jian assisting us with the cooking, the 8% and the 6% went from 8% to 10%, and the 6% went to 8%. So you are literally increasing it by a factor of about 20% by letting your specific assistants help you cook. This is absolutely game-changing because in the game where we're trying to squeak out every little bit of damage, you need to be doing this. If you're not doing this, if you're not using the specific cooks, you need to start doing so. Again, when you hover over a specific dish, in the top right, if it's glowing, that will tell you exactly who you need to cook. So specifically for the Mori pot, you need to be using Verena. Now, for the best in slot dishes, there's currently 2 dishes that I highly recommend, and it is the Mori pot, which increases all party members' attack by 40%, and last but not least, my favorite, the Jinzhou Maokai, which increases all party members' crit rate by 20%. Again, these can go up a little bit based on who you're using to cook. Again, for the Maokai, Chixia needs to cook it, but so for example, to show you some of the best in slot ones, I have enough materials for 3. We're going to change our assistant, and let's hope we hit the 3 just so I can show you how busted these dishes are when you hit the luck on it. So we're going to currently make 3. Let's pray that we hit the 1. And we did. So for example, so the initial Mori pot gave 40% attack, right? And because I used Verena to cook this dish, instead of 40%, I'm getting a 44% attack increase for 30 minutes. Guys, this is absolutely insane for when you're doing your rounds on farming your echoes, as this is when you're going to be wanting to increase your speed and increase your ability to get around and kill these echoes faster so you can get more bang for your buck when it comes to your time. Nobody is using cooking food. Nobody's using this. Nobody I watch regularly on Twitch or on YouTube is using their consumables, and you are missing out on 44% attack or nearly 30% crit rate. Guys, what are you doing? With this dish alone, with a properly built main DPS, you can get almost a 100% crit rate for for nothing. 28% going up to 30% with the correct cook with Chisha. You guys are missing out. If you are unsure of where to exactly get these recipes, there's a few places to get them. The souvenir shop will give recipes. Leveling up your chef level is how you actually get some of the end game recipes. And not only that, as you level up your chef level, you get astrite, you get energy, weapon leveling materials, you get shell credits, you get resonator leveling materials, you get more recipes, better food, better pizza, Papa John's. You need to be doing this. You're wasting it. You're missing out on so many astrite as a free-to-play player by not doing this. Look at all this astrite you're missing out on by not leveling your cooking. You're missing out on nearly 2 pulls. And you may be asking yourself, the Jinzhou Macau, where do you get it from? The head chef level is where you get that Jinzhou Macau, which means you need 6,000 proficiency in your cooking. And what does that mean? So every time that you craft a dish, you get a certain amount of proficiency up to the cap on that specific dish. So, for the Kudzu Kangi, I have made this dish so many times. I am absolute master at making this dish. I am at 400 out of 400. So I have gotten all the proficiency from this dish in the game, which means I need to move on to other cooking recipes. I need to start making more stews. I've done it on skewers. I need to unlock the flatbreads. You need to make a specific amount of each item to get to that proficiency level, guys. So make sure you're doing that. You want to get to that 6,000 mark to unlock this Macau recipe, because that unlocks the crit rate recipe. And again, just so you can start unlocking the astrite. So you guys need to be doing this. Not a lot of people are doing this. If you're unsure where to get certain materials, you can go over to the chef over here who will sell you specific cooking materials. She'll sell you recipes. She sells you the actual dishes themselves if you don't want to cook them. You can go over here up top to the grocery. The grocery sells a lot of the materials that you need to do these recipes. And last but not least, going down below to the medicine shop, she is also going to be selling you what you need to craft these dishes. So this is the best kept secret in Wuthering Waves at the moment. Again, I cannot express this. Nobody is doing this. You guys are significantly nerfing the amount of stats you are getting by not having these recipes constantly running on you. The Kangi, as I've been crafting it so much, it's a little bit worse than the Macau, but these things are so easy to get because you can buy all of these. You can literally buy all these materials for 22% free crit rate, 24% if you have Tao Key Cook It. Imagine ignoring a 24% crit rate buff because you're too lazy to come do your cooking. But that's it. That's all I got for you today, guys. I'm live now over at twitch.tv/LOLshinya. Please hit that subscribe button below for more tips and tricks like this. I'm going to be doing a whole series of these because there's so much in this game that you guys are not doing, and you are missing out on crazy stat bonuses. And if you're not doing it, you need to be following me. You need to be watching. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Have a good night, Rovers. I'll see you later.